quickly indeed. Schumacher's on the racing line. That is Hakkinen. Berger is still the fastest man on the track. He has just gone round in 1 minute 53.26. Quickest lap of all, 6th position. He's closing the gap to Damon Hill ahead of him. It's only 1.8 seconds now. The battle is on again between Hill and Berger. We're on lap 42. Schumacher leads. Villeneuve is second. There is the French-Canadian. Behind him is Mika Hakkinen. But Villeneuve is perfectly safe for second position, provided he can keep running at the sort of speed he's at now, because Hakkinen was over 13 seconds behind him. Now, this is Gerhard Berger, and that is Damon Hill in front. This is the battle for 5th position on lap 42. Only 2 laps to go at the end of this one. The longest Grand Prix circuit of them all, the most spectacular in terms of driver challenge, and Damon Hill is now fighting for that 5th position. He should be all right, I think, because Berger has got to take an awful lot out of that gap between them to enable him to close up in the last 2 laps, which they're coming up now, and then Damon can still make it very hard to get past. No, so now Rosset is about to be lapped. He's in 9th position in the Arrows. The highest he's ever finished is 8th. Ricardo Rosset from Brazil is about to be lapped by the man that we're riding with, Michael Schumacher, Ferrari, over the coast. Now, the power difference between the Hart V8 in the Arrows and the Ferrari V10 is that. Straight past Rosset goes Schumacher. Villeneuve should do the same thing, but it doesn't look to me as though he's going to. He may be held up by Rosset as they go through Lake Com, but this is it, right and left. And Michael Schumacher is now on his 43rd lap. He's only got 1 lap to go after this one. He's got about 6 miles between him and his 2nd Grand Prix victory of the year. Some people would say, and I think unfairly, his first real Grand Prix circuit win for Ferrari. The one in Spain, of course, that was due to his superb wet weather driving ability, more than the car. But if he wins here, it will be the thing that so many people who follow Grand Prix racing have been looking for, a genuine Ferrari revival with everything hanging together to enable the double world champion to exploit the Maranello car's ultimate performance. Lap 43 coming up to the last one. Schumacher leads Villeneuve by over 2 seconds, Hakkinen by over 14 seconds, Alesi by over 17 seconds, Hill by over 30 seconds, and Gerhard Berger is now only 1.4 seconds behind Damon Hill.
And if you think this seems a short Grand Prix as they come around to start their last lap, you're absolutely right. Grand Prix are all around about 200 miles, and the average speed here is that fast that it's taken just over an hour and a half to complete that. And it looks very much as if Michael Schumacher and Ferrari are going to take their 2nd win of the year. But it's a very important, a very significant win. And that is because the last win they had was at Spain, when weather conditions and Schumacher's driving ability was judged to have made the overwhelming difference. Here, it's a different story. It's been a story of dry conditions, a story of Ferrari and Schumacher getting that car into a pace that can actually outrun the Williams of Villeneuve. But there's been an advantage tactically for Schumacher, and that's the fact that the Ferrari and Schumacher between them came in, crucially, as soon as that safety car came out. And so they gained time that way, whereas Williams kept Villeneuve out for another lap, and that lost time. But Villeneuve has been highly impressive all weekend. He would dearly have loved to have had those extra 4 points to improve his championship chances. Just maybe that may make the difference between Villeneuve and Hill being world champion at the end of the day, with perhaps Hill taking it. But Williams, once again, have the best car, that's been clear. McLaren will be delighted with Hakkinen's 3rd place. They would have loved Coulthard to round off both cars in the top 6, but nevertheless, they have clearly made progress. They've got ahead of Benetton in terms of pace here, and that's the first time that's happened all weekend. An uneventful 4th place from Alesi. Hill back in 5th after the poor start, and after that confusion with him coming into the pits, then going back out again. And Gerhard Berger charging hard, having done very well, having made up after that spin that he had earlier on in the race.
So, very little distance now for Michael Schumacher to go. He exits Stavelot, comes up to the 180-mile-an-hour Blanchimont corner. That is it for the 44th and last time. Into the bus stop for the last time. Left, right, and then right, left, and he will be out to complete his 44 laps. And brilliant, brilliant Michael Schumacher wins the Belgian Grand Prix and brings Ferrari back to the front again. Great news for Formula One, and Jean Todt, who has had so much stick, is absolutely overjoyed. Jacques Villeneuve takes 6 World Championship points for second place. And if Damon Hill comes through, Hakkinen has finished in 3rd position. Alesi has finished in 4th position. And here are Hill and Berger, 5th and 6th. Gerhard Berger is going just to fail to take that 5th position away from Damon Hill, and the World Championship gap between Villeneuve and Hill has been closed by 4 points to 13 points, with 30 points still to be won in Italy, Portugal and Japan. 10 potential points for each of them, and the Ferrari mechanics, who've had such an awful time at Grand Prix for so long, since Canada, in France, in Britain, in Germany and in Hungary, and to some extent in Belgium because of the retirement of Eddie Irvine, see all their hard work rewarded by this man, Michael Schumacher, winner for the 2nd time this year, the 21st time in his career. 2 wins for Ferrari, 19 wins for Benetton. He is alleged to earn, with all his sponsorships, something like $40 million a year, and he's worth every cent of it. Germany, and for Schumacher, and for Italy and Ferrari.
Your 2nd Ferrari win and your 21st career win. You must be delighted today.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be difficult to find words for that. I mean, 1.2 seconds behind qualifying, and then in dry circumstance to do what we have done today. I wouldn't have bet again, like in Spain, 1 penny on it, that it would happen. Especially in the middle of the race, while I was behind Mika, I was pushing quite hard, going hard over the curbs, and I bent my steering, and I had a big play in the steering, and that was quite funny through Rouge. And I was close to stop the race because I was a little bit frightening through this high-speed corner, made to lose my steering. But then I spoke to the pits and I said, it's going to be a ride, and all of that together to win this race, I mean, it's just Hollywood life, I would say.
You made a good start and managed to overtake Damon. Had you expected to do that at the beginning?
With us, it's obviously not so sure whether we're going to do good starts or not, because the system sometimes works quite well, or not. The system actually is fine, it's the clutch. We have some variation in the clutch, which the last 2 races we have had good clutches, but it's a matter of luck, to be honest, to have this or not. And it worked perfect today. I wasn't expecting that, but I knew obviously Damon had some difficulties through the last races in starting. I knew Jack didn't, but I almost caught Jack as well. But obviously on the outside it's difficult to pass by in the first corner, so I had to pull back.
Now when the safety car came out, you were very clever and made a pit stop immediately. What was the decision behind that? Did you hear from the pits, or was it your decision to go in?
No, to be honest, it was the decision of the fuel tank, because that would have been empty if I would continue it for another lap. It was our strategy to come in anyway at that lap, and it just worked perfect.
And any problems from your accident on Friday? Did your knee give you any problem at all?
No, we did some good therapy through the weekend, and the swollen bit went almost back completely. I'm just not able to run proper, but otherwise in the car is no problem.
Well done.
That's fine, yeah.
Jacques, well, you must be pleased with the 2nd position, because your lead with Damon, the Damon's lead now goes down to 13 points. But do you think you could have won today? I mean,
well, we had our car was slightly quicker than Michael's, but when the yellow came out, we were trying to communicate through the radio to come in the pits, but we didn't understand each other, so I stayed out, and that was a big factor in the race today. But then it was close all the way to the end with Michael.
What did you feel when you came out of the pits after your 2nd stop and saw Michael shooting by? Did you think that's it, or did you think you could get back?
Well, I thought on the 2nd set of tires the car was very good for 2 or 3 laps, and then it started to push like a pig, and it did that with every set of tires. So I pushed really hard on the first laps, and it was good with Michael, but then I just lost my front end, and I just couldn't turn the corners anymore.
Because towards the end we saw you slowing down a little bit. Was that for that reason, or were you just being careful to make sure you got the points at the end then?
Well, I was hearing some noise in the engine anyway, so I preferred to just lay back a little bit.
Mika, we last saw you in Silverstone when you were third, and you were second here in '94. You seem to have had a good hard race today.
Yeah, I don't want this to become a habit to be third, but I'm very pleased indeed. Yeah, I think it went really well end of the day. Starting from 6 and coming third was absolutely more what I expected, to be honest.
You had quite a hard fight in the middle of the race with Mika Salo. How did that go?
Yeah, it was a bit strange because he didn't really give me the room. Even it was pretty clear I was quicker than him, but I guess he didn't see me, and things like that happens in a race.
Are you feeling more confident now with the car? Towards the end of the season, can we expect some more good results from you?
Yeah, definitely. We can expect more for the last 3 races.